Good day, viewers around the world. Good day. It's morning here in Milan, Italy, and it's the third day of April 2024. And we are here on our Wednesday program, News Echoes Wednesday African Update. You are welcome to this program. My name is Mark Godwin Iwejuwa, and I'm here on a day when a lot of things are happening all around the world. Now, what we do is do our best to give you the updates. Schengen Story Media, as you all must have been following, is an African in diaspora network. We are a credible, authentic English news network that has both Nigeria back home and Nigerians abroad representing the network. So you are welcome. My name is Mark Godwin Iwejuwan once again, and you're tuned into SSM Wednesday Global Africa Global Updates. Thank you for joining. Those of you that are joining, I normally do this with my coordinators and colleagues, but right about now, I'm the only one in the studio. So you're welcome. We'll go ahead with the program for today. Let's start with some news updates. We are following some news headlines. This morning, there's an update on a very sad situation in Lagos. The Deputy Commissioner of Police serving with the Force Criminal and Investigation Department, Alagbon, in Lagos, one Gbolahan Oyedemi, on Monday reportedly committed suicide in his private home in his hometown in Ogbomoso, your state. So the papers are reporting this, and that's the picture of the man there, Deputy Inspector of Police, Gbolahan Oyedemi. Gbolahan Oyedemi has committed suicide. Deputy Inspector of Police. We wonder what could be the reason. Source close to the family told correspondents on Tuesday, yesterday, in Ibadan, that the Deputy Commissioner normally visits his hometown during the Easter celebrations, and told aides that he will be at the weekend in his hometown to celebrate with the family. Source also said when he committed suicide, he didn't leave anything behind. He didn't leave any notes, no source, no anything, but he was all alone when he committed this suicide. So, Deputy Inspector of Police Gbolahan Oyedemi has committed suicide in his hometown, Oyo State, Ogbomoso. So, this is what we are following. Stay tuned as we continue with the news. We bring to you our African updates, African news updates, Schengen Story Media. Yes, you are welcome. Tuned in to SSM News Echoes Wednesday African Update. Let's run through the newspaper like we've just gotten some news. Some headlines are still flowing. Extremely irresponsible. Davido, the musician, superstar Nigerian musician, says extremely irresponsible. Those that pulled up an April Fool prank on him. He said he has directed his lawyers to sue a Kenyan media network for an April Fool prank that allegedly said he was arrested. So Davido is saying that it was an extremely irresponsible act. He said the prank story falsely claimed that the Afrobeat singer has been arrested in Kenya following the discovery of cocaine on his private jet, and it's not all true. So he's angry with this April Fool joke. He has told his lawyers to file in against the network. He says, I want to assure my fans that those reports are entirely untrue. I successfully completed my scheduled show in Uganda and Kenya and have since returned to Nigeria. Davido responded. He said, I find the fabrication of such allegation of international crime extremely irresponsible, regardless of the light of April Fool that people normally do. He said, my lawyers are seeking legal recourse against the media partners and people behind responsible for generating this misinformation. So that's in newspaper updates we're following also. Davido says, extremely irresponsible, the act of putting an April Fool joke on him from a Kenyan media network. So that's one of the papers. Also, on the international side, we have a paper update here, headline. It says Israel has passed a law that will ban Al Jazeera broadcasts in Israel. Al Jazeera, like we all know, is known for covering conflict in the Middle East, and but Israel says it's going to shut down the Israel office amid accusations of lies and slander. In a controversial move, the Israeli parliament passed that law granting the government to the authority to ban the broadcast of TV channel Al Jazeera. It says they will be banning the network in their country because they spread so many accusations of lies and slander. So that's what we're hearing from the international side. Al Jazeera to be banned, and we don't know why this is coming, but I don't think is ideal in a time of free expression. The ban will be placed for a period of 45 days, as it says, and that could be renewed. The law could stay in force until July and until the end of a significant point in time as the fight continues in Gaza. So that's what we're hearing. Al Jazeera says Israel says they are banning Al Jazeera in Israel, Al Jazeera network in Israel. So those of us that follow Al Jazeera, this will be a hit blow to them in their spread, and we hope they work it out with the Israeli government. Also in the news this morning, part of what we're following, it says Tinubu attends, it has happened already. Tinubu attends the inauguration of the Senegalese president, Bassirou Faye. Bassirou Faye's inauguration yesterday. Nigerian President Tinubu was there, since he's also the chairman of ECOWAS Authority of Head of States and Governments. He joined other regional leaders to witness the inauguration of 44-year-old Faye. Now, some people are saying some other things added to that. We know that Faye, 44-year-old Pan-African left-winger, resumes office now as the president of Senegal. And interestingly, he's resuming office without any prior elected office experience. Without any prior elected office experience. This is his first time of being in anything political office. Let's see the video of him and the Nigerian president. So that's the Senegalese president that came out from prison and became a president of his country, 44-year-old left-winger Bassirou Faye. Bassirou Faye is now the president of Senegal. He followed a very tough election, Just 10 days after his release from prison, he came under. He became the president of Senegal. So interesting, and such could also encourage us to know that we young people now should have more interest in political affairs. We should have more interest in what is going on in our country and being involved positively. So that is it. A 44-year-old young man that came out from prison is now the president of Senegal. And I think that's the youngest president in Africa so far for now, and the youngest president that will ever come out of Senegal. So Nigerian president was there to celebrate with him in his inauguration. And we hope young people, the attitude of young people in governance, in politics, will begin to shift as they see such role models. Yesterday also, a one-time presidential candidate, Omoyewole Sowore, faulted at the attitude of young Nigerians, that young Nigerians prefer to do menial thing instead of putting their eyes in politics, where it matters. Politics determine what policies, what arrangement goes on in a country. So if young people that have that strength, wherewithal, are not involved in such policy making, it's a problem. So young people out there, you're hearing it live. Let's all emulate this young man that came out from prison. He didn't let the prison life or negative situation to deter him. He came out and became Senegal's youngest president. Interesting, really interesting. Okay, also in the news, the headlines we're following, it says gas price in Nigeria. There seems to be a hike in the gas price, and that hike will also increase electricity tariff. This is what the newspapers are reporting. It says the price of gas is going to be increased. Consumers might be experiencing some increase in electricity also. So while the high gas to power price stands at $2.44, authority further increased the rate again, and the commercial sector will get an increased rate of $2.92. This increment was also done regardless of the complaint of shortage and undersupply of gas, and shortage and supply, but they're still increasing the gas price. So, and obviously this gas increase will raise also electricity tariff. So this is what the newspapers are reporting this morning. Most papers from Nigeria are saying that gas price increase will also add to electricity tariff. Yes, we're following the news. You are tuned into News Echoes Global Africa today, Wednesday, the 3rd of April, and we continue with the news. Stay with us as we continue. Yes, you're tuned in to SSM Wednesday Global Africa, and we're still in the business section where we talk business and other things related to business. Now, on that side also, we have a news coming in, the Forbes magazine. For those of us that follow the Forbes magazine now has its new list for 2024, and that list includes for Africa, includes some Africans and some Nigerians. Dangote, Adenuga, Rabiu, Otedola made the Forbes 2024 billionaires list. So Forbes magazine, as we know, is a magazine that is owned by a Hong Kong-based investment group. And What they do is look through real-time human endeavors and put out a list of those in making head top on that list. So this year's it's been some, like they said, on top of all that has been happening, global stock market war, political unrest, lingering inflation, and all that. But some people still made the list. On the international line, we have on number one in that list is a Bernard Arnault and family. Bernard Arnault and family are number one in the Forbes list. Number two in the international Forbes list has Elon Musk, the owner of Tesla, the owner of X, Twitter X, and all those companies. Number three, we have Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos owns Amazon, like you all know. And then on number four is Mike Zuckerberg. Mike Zuckerberg, Facebook. Mike Zuckerberg, WhatsApp. Mike Zuckerberg, Meta, and all the social handles. Also on that list is Larry Ellison. Larry made the list. Larry is the owner of a microchip company in America. And on that list, number 6 is Warren Buffett. Warren is a businessman, owns chains of business utility stores, and he made the list on number 6. On number 7 is Bill Gates, the Microsoft big man. So anyway, added to that list of the international plane, Nigerians also made the list. They made the cut, despite all that has been happening in our country economically. We still had Aliko Dangote on number 1 in the African list. We have Mike Adenuga. We have Abdul Samad Rabiu. We have Femi Otedola, and they all made the cut. So Forbes list, Nigeria is also on that list. Quite impressive one. Hard work, dedication, a lot of inputs have added to making that cut, that list. So there you go. Otedola, Adenuga, and the rest made the Forbes list 2024. Forbes list 2024. So we're still talking business. We are still talking business. For those of you that are just joining in, this is SSM News Echoes, Wednesday, the 3rd of April, our Global Africa update, and we are talking business. Yes. Still in the African update, Rwanda will be going to the polls by July the 15th. Rwanda will be going to the polls by July the 15th. And as yesterday, 7 political parties have endorsed Kagame, the president, the sitting president, Kagame. Rwanda's political parties have all support Paul Kagame because they say he's the man that should continue. So Paul Kagame is the president of Nigeria, but he's still of Rwanda, but he's still being endorsed to run in the polls of July 15th, coming July 15th. We all know that Paul Kagame has governed Rwanda for decades now. He has been securing victory in the presidential election since 2003, 2003, 2010, 2017. And he's been taking over 90% of the votes. So he's again being tipped to come in. And Paul, well, Rwanda is not doing bad economically. Rwanda is not doing bad socially. Rwanda is on the verge of progress. Having it in mind that they are coming from a very terrible situation. Remember the Hutsi and the Tutsi war in the 90s to 2000. So Paul Kagame has been tipped to run again in the July 15th Rwanda election. And there you go. There's Paul on the screen there. Paul Kagame. Yes, we are talking African updates, African news updates. Also in the news update is something coming from Turkey. Turkey election. For those of you that have been following, Turkey election has been one very tough one. Um, Regardless of it, they've had victory. The opposition party has taken most of the seats now. So Turkey opposition party claimed victory in Istanbul and Ankara, dealing blow to President Erdogan's party. So Turkey is moving on. Um, the president, the sitting president, says he acknowledged the electoral setback, but vows to respect electoral decisions, promising also to renew and self-reflecting with his party to see how best they can come up. So there you go. That's the winner of the most of the positions, and we know um, the election wasn't too peaceful. There were so many things happening. Let's see some of the scuffles happening. There you go. There you go. This was on the day of election, and we had some opposition fights, and we had also that somebody, a person or two, lost their life in that whole election process. Um, we don't know what could have started that fight, but obviously, moments like this are very tense and emotions run. People want to see their party win. People want to have victory in what they in at the polls. So you could have all these anxiety and emotions running, boiling over, and making people do what they do. So anyway, um, we hear that the election has gone, and the sitting president says he accepts what has what the situation. Ikram Imoglu, Ikram Imoglu came out as the president, and came out as the mayor of the city, and secured a second victory for his own party, and now putting Edwagon's party into a corner. Yes, the Turkmen opposition party claimed victory in Ankara and Istanbul, and those are the two major cities, two heavy cities in Turkey. So there you go for the Turkey election. We're still following more. We still will be following the Turkey election. So join us Friday as we give our international updates. Still in the news. Still in the news is the story of we have the story coming in now of we just got the one from the what's it called, the false news that was given on an artist called Davido. So still in the news, we want to also congratulate His Royal Highness, Royal Majesty Ogiame Atuwashe III, the Olu of Warri. The Olu of Warri is 40, was 40 yesterday, and we here in SSM want to congratulate him. The Olu of Warri has been doing very well, and for those of us that don't know, the Olu of Warri represents the Shekiri people. The Shekiri people are a tribe in the south of Nigeria, in Delta State. And yesterday, the Olu of Warri, which is a very, very, very prominent office, prominent monarch there in South Nigeria, celebrated his 40th birthday. The man is a great man. So we join others, we join the president of Nigeria, we join every other person to wish the Olu of Warri a happy birthday, and celebrating his monarchy his strength, his character, his clear vision for his people, his zest for peace and progress and development of the Shekiri people of South Nigeria. So that's the Olu of Warri. Olu of Warri will congratulate you on your birthday. So you're still tuned into News Echoes, Wednesday Global Africa. Those of you just joining, yes, this is where we give updates on various activities, various happenings. Today it's Africa. We look into Africa mainly. So let's go on this short break and we'll be back.
Hello.
Hello.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure, definitely.
What's your name?
My name is Bassirou.
Where are you from?
I'm from Nigeria.
What's the most beautiful thing you can tell me about Nigeria?
The most beautiful thing about Nigeria is being Nigerian.
It's being Nigerian. That's perfect.
Definitely.
Thank you. Bye.
No matter where you go, make you not forget area. Na Naija tí òde bá ti lè padà wálé how I wish say I fit reach you anywhere you dey far away. That's one no say make you dey born area motherland yo.
This country has some of the most extraordinary culinary diversity in the world. I'm talking about Nigeria. This first dish is amala abula, made popular by the Yoruba people in southwest Nigeria. It starts with amala made from dried yam and then is covered in a variety of soups. Next we have ofe and sala, a white soup that is synonymous with the Igbo people of southeastern Nigeria. It goes best with fufu, or akbo as the Igbos call it. Next we have suya, the most well-known food of the Hausa and Fulani people of northern Nigeria. Meat is covered in a peanut-based powder called yaji and cooked over an open fire. This is banga and starch, a classic of the Urhobo people of Delta State. Lastly, we have onunu, a plantain-based swallow of the Izon people in south-south Nigeria. We are eating it with fisherman's soup, popular throughout this whole region. And of course, we don't forget the jollof rice. This is popular everywhere in Nigeria. I think what makes Nigeria so great is the diversity of all the different people coming together. These beautiful ethnic groups living side by side, sharing culture and cuisine is what makes Nigeria such an amazing country to visit. Nigerians should be so proud of that cultural heritage, as there is so much more that unites than divides them.
Yes, viewers, you are tuning into our Wednesday African Global Update, SSM. Thank you for joining. Those of you that are joining, you're welcome. Yes, we normally do this with our coordinators from different parts of the world, but for some reasons, they can't join today. But I'm here, and we've done pretty well with some of the updates. Also, to wrap it up, as we talked about the Olu of Warri's birthday, to wrap it up, also, we want to put our condolence to the family of Jimmy Solanke. Jimmy Solanke will be buried on Friday, the 5th of April. And now, who is this man? The man you see there. That's a legendary folk music artist, Olu Jimmy Solanke. And Jimmy Solanke, for those of us that grew up in the 90s, 80s, he was one of the men that built the children. He taught us so many folk songs. Children, we used to tune up to Jimmy Solanke's folk music hour in the evenings, most during the week, and he will sing those beautiful traditional folk songs and teach us some real vital moral lessons. And Jimmy did this for decades. Sadly, Jimmy passed away at the age of 81. He was a multifaceted artist known for his achievement in music, dance, playwriting, acting, visual art, poetry. And Jimmy was a lot to many of us. So many of us took up to loving literal those poet, art, because Jimmy presented in a beautiful way to young people in Nigeria those days. So, but Jimmy is to be laid to rest on Friday, and here in the network as one of those that after his talent impacted myself, we want to give our condolence to Jimmy, to family, and wish Jimmy a peaceful journey as he rests in the Lord. That's Jimmy Solanke, Nigerian artist, playwright, visual art director, poetry, poet, and everything you can think of. Jimmy was involved. So Jimmy, wish you peaceful journey. Viewers, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to our News Echoes Wednesday Global Africa. We've gone through some of the headlines, some of the news that's making round around in Africa, in Nigeria. The Deputy Commissioner of Police that took his own life. We've not had reasons why. We'll be following the story as it goes on. And Davido, that Nigerian Afrobeat artist that says the prank on him was extremely irresponsible by a media house in Kenya. And we've also talked about the very special event that has happened in Senegal. The young man, 44-year-old Bassirou Faye, that came out from prison and now is the president of Senegal. And yesterday he was sworn in. Faye is a young man that has been very resilient, came out from prison, not minding the situation that was really, really hard at that time of the campaign, the election season, but he still did his thing. And some of us are using that to fault and tell the young people of Africa to sit up and do more in terms of politics and leadership. We also talked about the gas price that has increased, that would also probably affect electricity tariff hike in Nigeria. We talked about the Turkish opposition claim of victory in Istanbul, Ankara, and the blow they've given to the president's government in Turkey. We talked about the endorsing of Kagame, Paul Kagame, as presidential candidate come July 15th. That would be his fourth presidential tenure if he wins by that time, July the 15th. And in business, we looked into the planet's billionaires, and we said Africa too has its own billionaire. Nigeria has about 5 of them that has made the 4 billionaires list. Also was the talk of our congratulations to His Royal Majesty Kagame Atuwashe III, the Olu of Warri. So on this note, I want to thank you. We've shown up, we've done our thing, regardless of whatever it may be. And we want to thank you also for tuning in to SSM News Echoes, Wednesday Global Africa. And yes, my name is Magodin Iwejuan, and you have just been updated. Thank you. Still will come your way on Friday when we give the international news updates. Till then, remain blessed and have a beautiful midweek. Bye-bye.